So let's talk a little bit about the minimum nurses bill that was passed yesterday. Um, it was a project of Kirsty Williams of the Liberal Democrats, and she worked very hard to get this across the line. But we're going to increase the numbers of nurses on healthcare wards across Wales. So there'll be a set number that have to be there in order to provide patient care. And they really worked very hard for that, and they also clawed back a bunch of money for universities and local authorities. So,
and that's coming on top of the budget settlement, which is good for universities as well.
Exactly.
And I think, apart from anything else, but universities are further education colleges are hugely important institutions in Wales and elsewhere. Hugely important for the students and the universities, but also for the businesses, because research shows that business develops because of the institutions.
Indeed.
Students stay on, they develop, and they start businesses. So there's a very real knock-on effect from these things.
Absolutely.
Very important.
I met a few weeks back with one of the heads of the FSB and an old friend of mine who now runs Colleges Wales. And we're trying to link through what we're talking about for campaigning, as well as hopefully for producing legislation in the future, this whole idea of skills training, because we're still in situations where our comprehensive and high schools are focused on exams and getting good test scores. And the problem is that those
skills training is hugely important.
So skills training, internships, work experience. A year ago, my son won the lottery. Basically, he got to go over to British Airways in Cardiff and work in their maintenance facility. And he wants to go into aerospace engineering. Yes, because of what he saw. They basically crawled around the belly of a 767 for a week. And he got there because his best friend's father works there. And they allowed 10 kids to come for a week during their work-study week.
Well,
We've
great.
got to expand those types of
there should be a proper way of doing these things. That's great for your son. That's fantastic. But there are so many others.
There's so many other kids that
would benefit.
So why could we not sit down with British Airways and say, look, the program is really good. Right now my daughter is looking this year. They're not going to do work-study programs. She's now the year following behind him. So she's saying, well, why don't I get to have an opportunity to do work-study? And it's a good question, because it's not right. Well, we really need to look at across Wales ways in which we can go to. We've got some incredible industries here, from BAE with building the wings for the A380 and everything else. We've got the largest aircraft. We've got the largest aircraft seat manufacturer in the world. There's so many good things.
Yeah, it is massively important. But it's very important for kids, and your son are fantastic. But it's also important to boost. Very boring. It sounds very boring, but we need to boost productivity.
I agree.
We really do need to boost productivity, because otherwise you're making, GDP is all right. Making a number of widgets per person and per hour, but and the number of widgets going up. But people are working. That's because people are working harder. So we need to boost productivity, so you make more widgets for fewer hours.
And we're not. The problem was a lot of kids come out of a comprehensive school. They've done reasonably well in the GCSEs, but their skills are so bad they have to retake several of the GCSEs just to get to a certain skill level. And I think, well, what the heck is going on?
Is that still happening? That's terrible, isn't it? That's terrible.
Because
it's employers have to do that. Then.
Yeah.
They want to educate people. Employ them.
Crazy.